Hey there, I'm just about ready to start voting my general election ballot for the general election in 2020, presidential election as well as others. And I just wanted to give a little bit of information about how to fill out the ballot and get along with the voting process. You may get in the mail a sample ballot like the one that's enclosed here. As you open it up, the ballot is available in both English and Spanish, and I will be voting on one and demonstrating how to vote on the other. When you look at a ballot, particularly for a sample ballot, what you're really looking at is all of the possible options that are available in your supervisor of elections area. And when you're reading it, you generally read not from left to right, as is normal for most documents, but from top down. So the first election will be president and vice president, and then U.S. Senate or representatives in Congress. Florida doesn't have a Senate election this year. And then state level offices, local offices, and any other offices that are available. So district courts, these are some judicial retentions. We have some community development districts available. And then on the right hand side of this ballot, we have all 6 of Florida's constitutional amendments, numbered 1 through 6. Sometimes they have an amendment that skips a number because it's been removed, but generally speaking, they should be numbered and ordered according to that. So one thing that you'll note, so there are some items on the sample ballot that are in gray. That means that it may not be applicable to all voters within that district, or sorry, within the area that the supervisor of election covers. So some of these may not be available on your ballot. As I said, I have a sample ballot and I actually have my mail-in ballot right now. So I will be showing you how to use a sample ballot. The first thing that you want to know is that a sample ballot is generally all the things that you have available to you on the actual ballot, and it also provides some extra information. Tells you, well, when you are going to vote, you should have your ID. It tells you that you should change your address before going to your polling location if you have, because you in Florida you have to vote where you live. So you need to make sure that that information is updated with the registrar, and that will allow you to be confident of your voting location. It's not so important for early voting because early voting sites have all of the ballot styles, but it's much more important for voting on election day, November 3rd. And then it also has some information about how to vote by mail requests, and then some other information about voting throughout the system. The other information is all current for this general election. When you're voting, you will be provided with a pen, and the way to fill in your intent for a particular race is to use that pen and fully circle in the oval. It's okay if you go outside the lines a bit. One of the things that would invalidate a vote is if, for example, you have something that crosses into both lines. So that vote would not be able to be counted for either candidate. However, that doesn't mean that your entire ballot is not countable. It just goes into that one vote and it highlights for you, hey, you've overvoted this one. It won't be counted at all. If you make a mistake, in Florida you have up to 3 ballots that can be issued. For a mail-in vote, your mail-in ballot is your first ballot, and then any others would be after that. So, just to be clear, this if this were your real ballot, this race would not be counted, but this one would. Alright, I've gone ahead and filled out one of my sample ballots, and at this point, this sample ballot is able to be taken with me into the polling location if that's the way that I choose to vote. Alternatively, I will be able to use it to copy the information from this ballot down onto my my live vote by mail election ballot. So I'm going to start doing that now and point out some things on the actual ballot as I see them. Alright, this is my actual vote by mail ballot, and I've got in the top right, it does say my my polling location as well as my ballot style. Mine is G201. It's important for everybody to know that this ballot will be scanned in, so there are some tracking marks on it that you want to make sure stay relatively clean and free of any stray markings. So don't color outside the lines, people. But as I mentioned before, generally speaking, the order that you will follow for a sample ballot is the same order that you will follow for your official ballot. So, paying attention here, this is my sample ballot, and this is my official ballot. And going in order, we have president, representative, state attorney, state senator, state rep, sheriff, and then it goes on down. So if I go to the right, I go president, then district court of appeal, president, Supreme Court justice. So again, that kind of disconnect can sometimes surprise voters. So as long as you follow directly down, right after Board of County Commissioners, District 5, you should be able to find the next race. So Justice of the Supreme Court, Justice of the Supreme Court. And these are retention elections, so there's a yes or no. And then off to the right, we have some information for our local elections, and then we start with the constitutional amendments. You got to pay attention because this ballot is both front and back. So there's stuff on the back that you can vote for. Again, that's what these 6 constitutional amendments are. All right, when you're marking your official ballot, it's important to vote by filling in the ovals completely and using only a black ballpoint pen. This will make sure that the scanning mechanism is able to read the ballot appropriately. And if you do make a mistake, you can ask for a new ballot. As I said, you're allowed up to 3, and any stray markings may invalidate that particular race. If there are stray markings across the whole of your ballot, for instance, you may end up with invalidating your ballot entirely. So contact your election officials and make sure that they can recognize that you need to be issued a new ballot. You can return this ballot and you will be able to get a clean new ballot to work with. Alright, so that's enough about filling out the ballot. There are some other election materials that come in that same envelope with your vote by mail ballot. Some promotional materials about how to vote and the deadlines for the races this year. Right now we're focused on the general election that is November the 3rd. This ballot has to be returned in Florida to your supervisor of elections by 7 o'clock on November 3rd. And that is, unless courts intervene in some way. And the other items you get are a secrecy sleeve, which includes some instructions, and your vote by mail return envelope, and you have some more further information on the back of that. So I want to point out that as you sign this envelope, what you're doing is you're agreeing to the statements above. That is, I swear that I'm qualified, registered of this county, and that I have not or will not vote more than one ballot in this election. So it's pretty easy in my county to follow the progress of your ballot and to make sure that your vote is counted. Do so early. Try to get the information that you need from your county election officials. And sorry, my cat is trying to get up in the voting process. And you will be able to make sure that your vote counts appropriately. So there's some more instructions. The signature must be the same person to whom this ballot was mailed. So it's possible that some people need help with your filling out the ballot. But even if it's as simple as an X mark, you have to have the voter sign the box. And again, this is another reason why you must turn this in early. If there is any question about the signature in this box and whether it changes from the signature that's on file, then the supervisor of elections office will connect with you using the information provided on the bottom of this form. So if email, cell phone, home phone number, so that you can have your signature cured or make sure that your signature is appropriately documented, and then then they will be able to open your envelope and read your ballot through the tabulating machine. All right, one final note about the secrecy sleeve. I know that in the state of Florida, the secrecy sleeve is generally optional, but in other states, Pennsylvania notably, that if you have your vote deposited in an official envelope without the secrecy sleeve, it will not be counted. So these are things that you need to pay attention to. I will certainly be using my secrecy sleeve. It has all the instructions that you need to fill in and return your vote by mail ballot, and I am planning on doing that, returning it today.